All right, everyone. The other day, the dude that shot the man from Patriot Prayer there, Michael Reinoehl, he was shot and killed by police. I believe the FBI was responding to. Now, it gets a little bit odd because he had been talking to Vice not long before, and they're thinking that helped them locate him. Of course, he was wanted for, being a suspect in this murder. Obviously, attempted to attack police, I believe, and then, gets shot. Some people are saying that it's like a hip, that the idea was that they didn't want him caught because they thought that he would give up names, so to speak. I don't know that that's necessarily the case. See, the problem is you've got so many people embedded in these agencies, like prosecutors and commissioners and stuff, that'll cover for Antifa at this point, that it's like, what would it do him any good to squeal? He probably wouldn't even get charged. Like, they've literally let people who have attempted to kill other people out of prison due to the coronavirus bullshit, most of which, by the way, will disappear and become uncooperative. They're not going to go back and say, okay, coronavirus is over. I think that I'll turn myself back in and serve the next 5 years of my sentence. No, they're all on their way to Mexico or something like that. They're not going to fucking deal with that shit. Would you? Guilty as your conscience may be, you've got the opportunity to flee and sort of melt into the woodwork. Wouldn't you fucking take it? I would think so. And then we've already proven that it's possible to live in the United States while being undocumented because there are like 10, 15 million people doing so. So it doesn't matter if a person's a con. Anyway, it was interesting because this dude is like, he's like, oh, I'm 100% Antifa. Yes, we will, conduct our revolution or whatever. But remember, according to the legacy media, Antifa is not a movement. Now, it's funny how quickly this story, did you not notice, disappeared off the front pages. I would think that this would be quite a big thing. This dude's wanted for murder, shot a person for political reasons. He just gave this interview with Vice News, and I would think, by the way, they should be deplatformed for platforming hateful, terroristic individuals. So I expect Twitter to ban their account. I'm just joking. That'll never happen. Although it was funny. Did you see that literally last night Facebook decided to can Patriot Prayer's main page? Now, here's the odd thing. People are always talking about Antifa, anti-fascist this, smash the Nazi, punch the Nazi sort of stuff on Facebook. No repercussions for what they're saying. Patriot Prayer, meanwhile, one of their dudes actually gets killed. Now, supposedly this is a violent militia, Patriot Prayer. Can Facebook please give me examples of them actually acting violently instead of showing up, carrying weapons, which is legal, wearing body armor, which is legal, to defend businesses or to defend private civilians? Can you show me an example of this? By the way, can Facebook show me an example of how it's still fucking culturally relevant in the political arena? It's boomer book. Nobody fucking gives a shit about it, so Zuckerberg can fuck himself. I hope Facebook bans me tomorrow, just so it takes away the urge to continue running a page there that's basically useless. Like, seriously, at the very least, I hate to even say this to the Facebook crowd. If you want to use a worthless platform that's decreasingly functional for political speech, just use Twitter. Trust me, at the very least, you can have some good debates with people before you're summarily banned for insulting the wrong person who believes in critical race theory. Anyway, nobody's going to shed a tear for this dude. Antifa has already turned him into a sort of far-left martyr. It's interesting because, remember, it's not an organization, but it has all sorts of online presence, a fundraising apparatus, at least in the general sense, and definitely organizes on the regional level in order to actually respond to rioting and protests and so forth to go inflame the situation. Interesting. It's also interesting how 90% of these are white males, but supposedly they're fighting for diversity. They have nothing in common with the brown shirts. Yeah, they're smashing out shop windows and writing slogans on their homes' walls and stuff like that to get them targeted for their political beliefs, but they don't have anything in common with authoritarianism of any branch. They're not really anti-fascists. It's like this dude. He knows nothing. He knew nothing when he shot the dude. The only thing that he knew is that he was supposedly a member of Patriot Prayer. I don't even know that he would have known that at the time. He saw thin blue line patch and he just decided to randomly kill him, and was then basically alluding to celebrating about that. Oh, you killed a Nazi. It's interesting these days. Here are the Nazis today. People who don't want to burn books. People who don't think billionaires should censor human communication. Please go to the side, kitty, instead of in front. Walk betwixt the wires. Old joke, by the way. I'll explain it sometime. It deals with a field trip I took back in elementary school, and it was one of the funniest things that I ever heard. Don't worry, I'll tell. Someday I'll get around to it. People who show up to defend businesses against political violence, counter protesters marching against violence in general, people who are defending their own homes, people who are sitting on their front porch and just looking on. These are all Nazis. Well, that's fucking most of the population, dude. You don't need to be in a so-called right-wing militia for it. The tech firms will delete the militia pages for showing up to defend people. How the hell is this possibly acceptable? And how the hell is it not, by the way, interference by billionaires in our political system? Silicon Valley has become the main mode of human communication. Why do you think all tech exists? Why do you think they try to call them Nazis too? Like the millions of daily users on BitChute, they're all Nazis. Largest user on the site's been a self-proclaimed libertarian for the last decade, but it's obviously it's white nationalist and identitarian in form. Meanwhile, Richard Spencer's endorsing Joe Biden. Come on, dude. It's all topsy-turvy. So, I mean, it's good, I guess, that the murderer got shot, although it's not going to bring the dude he killed back from life, from the death. That being said, there are some shenanigans possibly with it. It is kind of odd that he was just giving a Vice interview. Let's face it. It's a little bit strange. I think we definitely need to look into the timeline of events with regards to that. Anytime the FBI gets involved, things sometimes they glow in the dark. We'll just leave it at that, and it can become a big problem. That's about all. Peace out.